Hare Krishna Prabhus.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances of glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories Srila Prabhupada. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmilitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanhebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So welcome everyone to our ongoing study of Srimad Bhagavatam at the level of Bhakti Vaibhava, and we're on the 4th canto, and we're looking chapter 21, which is concerning Maharaj Prithu. And Maharaj Prithu is, what is the title again for the chapter? Let me check here. Oh, Krishna. How did this happen? Oh, yes. Instructions by Maharaj Prithu. Right, Maharaj Prithu, we heard in chapter 20 how he got instructions from Lord Vishnu. And now chapter 21, Maharaj Prithu is going to be giving instructions to the citizens. Maharaj Prithu has a wonderful kingdom. He's ruling the world. And he has to give instructions for people all around the planet to help them to be God conscious. So Lord Vishnu had instructed Maharaj Prithu about the importance of following Varnashram Dharma and being humble and being of good behavior. These things were very important. So chapter 21 begins, just to review it. We went over it last week. I thought it would be good to review it again quickly tonight before we go ahead to chapter 22. We only have 4 chapters in the unit, but they're very, very special chapters, especially 21, 22, 23. There's a lot of detailed information and purports there. So I didn't want to go too fast. Anyway, chapter 21 begins with a description about the reception which was given to Maharaj Prithu, coming into the arena, how everyone welcomes him. And the reception is described. It's made up of the different articles which are available in nature. Things like water distilled from sandalwood and aguru was sprinkled everywhere. And there were unbroken fruits, flowers, wetted grains, minerals and lamps, all auspicious paraphernalia. And there were pillars of banana trees and betel nut branches. Everywhere looked very attractive. As the king entered the gate of the city, all the citizens received him with auspicious articles, lamps, flowers, yogurt. So receiving guests is a part of Vedic culture. And we do have similar programs in our Krishna consciousness movement, especially at times maybe like Rath Yatra, bringing the deities out onto the chariot. We have a special reception, or some very prominent spiritual master may come to the temple, and we may have a nice reception for them. Especially kirtan is a very nice reception in this age, to welcome people. You have a nice kirtan party there. That's very pleasing and satisfying. If you're coming to a temple and the temple devotees are there to greet you with a kirtan, it's very encouraging, very inspiring. And certainly we would do like that for Srila Prabhupada. So it's mentioned, text number 5, Maharaj Prithu was not the least bit affected by people offering prayer. By all the, excuse me, all the pomp and all the presentations, it didn't go to his head. Maharaj Prithu was a humble soul. He kept his humility. He kept his character in check. He didn't become proud, although he was certainly in the most prominent position. All the important citizens, as well as the common citizens, everyone welcomed him. And he was naturally willing to give blessings to everyone. So Maharaj Prithu had achieved a reputation spread all over the universe. He'd taken shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. So that is the most wonderful position, to be at the lotus feet of the Lord. So Maitreya he's been describing this, and Vidura, who he's been talking with Maitreya, Vidura has a question. He wants to ask about this. So his question is that he said, Maharaj Prithu was enthroned and he was given so much honor, the influence received from the strength of Vishnu. He had greatly developed the earth. He was so great in the activities. Everybody wanted to hear about him and follow in his footsteps. So Vidura says, I want to hear more and more about Prithu Maharaj, because his activities are so pious and auspicious. So this is the nature of hearing about great devotees. Why does Vidura want to hear more about it? Because it will be important. It's an example for all the other kings, all the ordinary kings or the smaller kings, and all the executive heads. It's an example for them that they should all hear about Maharaj Prithu's activities, and it will help to influence them and guide them in their own service. As they have to rule over their kingdom or their states, they have big responsibilities serving in the government and so on. So hearing about Maharaj Prithu will be a good inspiration and a good guidance for them. so that they can ensure peace and prosperity for people all over the world. So this is why Vidura is asking about Maharaj Prithu. And he says, because Maharaj Prithu was very opulent, it appears like he was enjoying his good fortune. He's enjoying his good karma. He's using up his good karma. Right? You use up all your good karma. When you use up all your good karma, then you run into bad karma. We have to be careful about that. Karma keeps you in the material world. We don't want to have good or bad karma. We want to get free of karma. And the way to get free of karma, of course, is by devotional service. Srila Prabhupada makes an important point in the purport here. He says that when we come to Krishna consciousness, we immediately become one of the Achyuta Gotra, or descendants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maybe you remember last week I was telling you how people would ask us, what is your Gotra? In other words, they would humiliate us by asking us what is our Gotra, because they knew we didn't have a Gotra. But Srila Prabhupada told us that when people ask you what is your Gotra, you simply tell them Achyuta Gotra, meaning we're descendants of the Supreme Lord. And in this way we're transcendental to all considerations of caste or creed or color or nationality. That is the nature of being part of the family of the Supreme Lord. There's no discrimination. Another important point made in this purport, Prabhupada points out that although everyone in the world is controlled by a king, the Vaishnavas and the Brahmanas are not under the control of anyone. The Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas are on the transcendental platform. So they're not under the control. The kings control people in the material world, but the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, they're on the transcendental platform. All right, so Maharaj Prithu is going to initiate the performance of a great sacrifice, and he's inviting so many sages and demigods from higher planets. All the great kings are coming. So then there's an elaborate, detailed description about Maharaj Prithu. We hear about his form, his wonderful qualities. He's so attractive, he's so powerful, he's so pleasing. His hair, his facial features, everything about him is so attractive. And then because he's doing a yagya, he has to put on a deer skin, and they can see his body, you can see his beautiful form. His speech is very pleasing, and he's using wonderful language, beautiful metaphors. So Maharaj Prithu begins to speak to all the citizens who have assembled there, and he tells them that you've all come to attend this meeting, so he says, kindly hear my prayer attentively. Anybody who listens attentively, then they will be, if they're actually inquisitive, they must hear carefully. So Maharaj Prithu begins speaking about his duty as the king of the planet. He said, I have to make sure everyone has employment according to their positions, and I have to protect them from all dangers as well. And so this is some of the duty. Governments, of course, they're always concerned like that. They're thinking about making arrangements to provide enough work for the people in their country, to arrange employment. Everyone needs suitable work. Then they can earn and they can provide for their family. So Maharaj Prithu is concerned for all the living entities, not only the humans, all entities who take birth, he's concerned for them. It refers not only to humans, but also to the animals, the trees, and every other living entity. So the king has to take care of all of these different living entities. And Maharaj Prithu had that consciousness. He knows ultimately everything is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the controller of everyone. So everyone should make their life in such a way to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maharaj Prithu explains to the citizens that if the king simply thinks about taking taxes from people without giving them protection, then he will take their karma. If the king simply engages taking money away from the people and does not provide them proper guidance and protection from sinful activities, then he will take the karma from the people, he will get the reactions for their sinful activities. So Prabhupada in the purport, he talked about the laws of nature, how they're very subtle, and he gave the example that if you eat in a place which is dirty or very sinful, then you'll be affected by the reactions of that sinful place. You may have had experience, you go to eat in some place which is not clean, not pure, not sattvic, and you get sick almost immediately. So Prabhupada writes, it is not the duty of rigid Brahmanas and Vaishnavas to accept invitations everywhere. But he said there's no objection to taking part in feasts where prasadam is distributed. But we don't go everywhere and everywhere. Maharaj Prithu talks about the duty of the people that when the king dies, then they have to still carry on their duties according to their varna and ashram, and they should bestow their mercy upon the king for his welfare after death. So the people are responsible for the welfare of the king. The king is responsible for the people, and the people, they're also responsible for the king. And Prabhupada talks about that in the purport of text 26. He says, anyone who cooperates with this movement or accepts the principles will get the same result as the workers who are actively propagating Krishna consciousness. So if people are just favorable about our movement and if they just accept our principles and appreciate what we're doing, then they will get the results. They'll get the benefit also, just as the devotees get. And then an important point comes up, text number 27. Maharaj Prithu is talking about an authority, that there must be some authority within the universe. There must be somebody who is giving the benefit to people for their different activities, and punishments also. And Maharaj Prithu argues, why should there be persons who are unusually beautiful and powerful, both in this life and in the life after death? So we see that in the world, some people are exceptionally beautiful and exceptionally powerful, much more so than others. Why? They have something from their karma, from their past, and they're put into that situation. There must be some authority to give the benefits of the activities which we're doing today. And just as we're suffering and enjoying the results of our past activities, the things which we're doing today will also influence us in the future. There must be some authority figure. Of course, in modern times, people are often atheistic. They don't believe in God. They say, oh, there's no God, Shastra, they're just trouble. Why you bother reading all these things? They have no value today. Atheists don't believe in God. They understand everything to be just simply physical arrangement and chance. And they may even talk about Sankhya philosophy, atheistic Sankhya. They only believe in matter. They don't believe that there's any spiritual particle. Or they say if there is a spiritual particle, it comes from matter. According to the atheists, Prabhupada writes in this purport, all the Vedic injunctions are just theories, no practical application in life. But we argue, no, it's very valuable. We say there must be some God in control. Otherwise, why are there so many varieties of existence within the material world? We see so many different levels of existence, different species of life. How do they all come about? Now the atheists will say, oh, it's just chance, we can't explain it. But if we follow the Vedas, then the Vedas give perfect explanation of these things. Everything is arranged under the direction of the Supreme Lord. And that's why you have different divisions of society. You have Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. You have different designations. Prabhupada also warns to us against the Mayavadi philosophy propounded by Shankaracharya, that this is more dangerous than atheism, because the Mayavadis, they create their own form of God. They say that we have to imagine a shape of God. So this is more dangerous than denying the existence of God. So Lord Chaitanya defeated the Buddhist philosophy. He exposed that this is simply atheism. And every intelligent person can see behind this material world, there must be some authority figure. Without any authority figure, there could be no proper order in the world. But everything is very carefully arranged for the supply, for everyone, according to their needs. So it's our duty to try to satisfy the Lord. With whatever work we do it for His pleasure. And just like Arjuna fought as a warrior, he was fighting for Krishna. So whatever occupation, whatever profession we have, we do it for the pleasure of the Lord and offer the results for His pleasure. If we don't work for His pleasure, then we're simply working for our own pleasure, trying to enjoy, chewing the chewed, trying to enjoy where there is actually no pleasure. So the Lord, as the Supreme Controller, He arranges for each and every one according to their qualification. And He recognizes somebody who does some nice service for Him, they will be rewarded. Just like in a family, one son works for the pleasure of the family to help the father will appreciate. The demons, however, they're always fighting, trying to enjoy the results for their own self. They're simply fighting, struggling, trying to enjoy. They think there's no God in control, and they think the purpose of life is just to satisfy the senses. Their only business in life is to make money, to try to get sense gratification. But from Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that there is pious as well as sinful activities. There are distinctions. You work in a pious way, you get good results. And you work in a sinful way, then you suffer. You get reactions. Nothing is by chance. So the different varieties of life, they don't come about by chance, but they are necessary, because these are all different arrangements made by the Lord to arrange to satisfy the living entities' different pious and sinful activities. Pious people take birth in a good family, and the sinful demons take birth in a hellish condition of life. So the varieties of life develop not by chance, but by pre-arrangement. There is a plan which is already outlined in the Vedic knowledge, and we have to take advantage of this knowledge. So the devotees of the Lord, they come and they try to teach us, they preach to us, they come to canvass and to educate us, try to help us to get out of the illusion, to come to the higher platform. So Prithu Maharaj gives examples about great personalities who also accept that there's a controller, that there's a God. And he said, this is not only evidence that